Hello and welcome to the Slip Slip Sis YouTube channel. My name is Che and I am half of your Slip Slip sisters, and I am coming to you with a somewhat special unplanned vlog. So today is February 23rd and Gabrielle and I were supposed to be at the Rose City Yarn Crawl in Portland, Oregon, but alas, last night we got a notification that first, Gabrielle's flight had been delayed by like 8 to 10 hours, and because of the weather, and we were like, oh no, and then had come up with an entire plan. And then 2 hours after that, I got the notification that my flight had been canceled and there were looking like no other options to get there. And we started looking into it more, even called the hotel, and it was looking like there were the drive from the airport to the hotel, which is normally a 30-minute drive, had turned into a 2-hour drive. And they were expecting snow, and it was starting to ice over into this winter storm that we're experiencing. So I even called one of my good friends who is originally from Portland, and he was telling me that even his parents weren't going out into the weather and it wasn't safe. And I found out later, same friend had someone up in Portland that was there for like a job interview or something, and it took them 10 hours to get from one side of Portland where they were visiting to the airport. So I made the call and are very disappointed, but we are not going to the Rose City Yarn Crawl this year. So you are getting 2 separate videos from Gabrielle and our Gabz and I as we figure out what to do with ourselves for the weekend, because we had planned to go together. We were really, really looking forward to it, but it ended up just not working out for us. And we know that it was definitely the right call to make, but you know, that doesn't make you any less disappointed. So we are doing the best to make the most of what we have. So Gabrielle has already had a great day, and you'll learn more about it from her weekend vlog. But during that time, I ended up going to work today, and she calls me because we had been really looking forward to one of the trunk shows. It was Teal Torch Knits was having a trunk show at Weird Sisters, which was actually Weird Sisters Yarn, which was going to be our first stop on the crawl. And we were really looking forward to it because Teal Torch Knits had released their kind of like special colorway, and we loved it. It is called Spooky Kooky Besties, and we really, really wanted it. So we were afraid we weren't going to be able to get it, but then I think somehow they ended up posting online on the Weird Sisters Yarn website some of the yarns. So Gabrielle calls me, and I'm like in the middle of a meeting with a colleague who is very flexible and very kind. And she's like, we have to order the yarn. And so we were both online, and I was like yelling at her, and I was like, thank God I had my credit card on me. And we ended up getting the last 2 DK weight skeins of this Spooky Kooky Besties colorway. So there is a silver lining. We have gotten that yarn. I'm gonna do a bit more shopping. Gabz and I have some plans to connect, do the virtual crawl together. So that is what this vlog is going to consist of. But I'm gonna video call her soon, but I wanted to share this was my treat, because sometimes when you're disappointed, you just need a burger and fries and a strawberry shake. So I'm gonna dig into this before I jump on the phone with my sister. Friday. So it has been quite eventful since I last checked in. Today is Friday, February 24th, and it is pouring rain down here in Southern California. It turns out I have come down with a cold, so I am not feeling super hot. So I think it worked out that we weren't able to go up to the yarn crawl. I thought it was allergies because we're supposed to have this big super bloom season. Turns out it is a cold, which I think is the nature of, being winter season. But last night I was able to video chat with my sister. We were able to complete the virtual crawl, which was super fun. We found some things that we liked. I placed an order with Starlight Knitting Society. I got some yarn, which was obviously, and it was junk yarn, and the colorway is called Boss Barbie. And I also got their shirt for this year. I thought it was super cute with the unicorn. So I placed that order, and they've already started processing it, which I think is just so impressive with everything that they've got going on. So kudos to Starlight Knitting Society. There were a couple other things that I liked at the different shops, but I'm holding out for now in terms of what I want to buy towards the end of the weekend. If it's still something that's calling to me, I will decide then. But I did get some happy mail, so I do want to share that with you. Some of this is stuff that I've been waiting for, but on my way home from work, there is also a yarn shop close to me, or close to my job, so I was able to pop in there, and I got this super fun skein here. It's olive fiber arts, which I think this is just so fun. And the shop owner was telling me that the dyer of Olive Fiber Arts was one of their mentees, so they have a mentorship program, and they started their own company. So I think this is so great. It is a DK skein. It is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and the colorway is called You Guava Be Kidding Me. So I think this is just so fun, will be perfect for socks, and also kind of give me a tropical vibe, right? Amidst all of this winter, stormy, rainy weather. And then some happy mail I got was that McKaylee of Breaking Yarn was doing a moving sale, and unfortunately that will be over by the time this goes up, but I'm a big fan of her work and her dyeing, so I ordered this skein, which is called Breaking Blue, and she always adds this fun little stitch marker right there. It is on the sock DK base, so this is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon base. I think this is going to be perfect for more socks, because we're on this DK sock kick for 2023. So maybe I'll cast these on this weekend, but I know that Gabz and I have some plans to video chat a little bit later to have dinner together and cast on. We're gonna race this weekend, but I have to confess that she's probably going to win because I'm not feeling super hot and I definitely need to rest this weekend. But who knows? She's also got kids, so we've each got our barriers to us. And then the other thing that I got in the mail is something that I have been wanting and waiting on for some time. I was able to place an order with Della Dino World, and I love their work so much. They do the cutest stuff. I have been drooling after some of the cute stitch markers and charms. I think they are so unique, so one of a kind, so intricate, and I always miss the updates. But I was able to snag something this time, and it ships from Mexico, so it takes a little bit as well. But I'm obsessed with this. I think it is so cute, so perfect for me. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I love pink and I love dinosaurs. And something you may not know about me is that I also love boba. So this, I think, is perfect. It is a pink T-Rex boba, right? Am I right? Amazing. So precious. I'm obsessed with this. I think it is so cute, and I can't wait to use it. Maybe this is what I will use for my cast on for this weekend. I am gonna rest a little bit while I wait for I just DoorDash some food and wait for that, and then I'll get online with my sister. All right. Oh, I
Good morning. Today is Saturday, February, 25th, I want to say. That feels right. We're going to go with 25th. Let's double check. Yep, 25th. So I set the goal for myself to peel myself out of bed by 7:30. So goal was achieved. I am still not feeling awesome. I do feel like I have moved into a new stage of my cold though, but we're probably just going to take it easy today. I know my sister and I are going to podcast, probably video chat some more, and I'm going to see if I can go to Alamitos Bay Yarn Company. That is another yarn store local to me. It's only about 20 minutes away. I'm in the South Bay area of Los Angeles or Southern California, and it's in Long Beach, so it's not too far, but it is pretty rainy and yucky out. We did get a flood warning, so I'm deciding if the rain breaks a bit, I might go out there if I'm feeling up to it as well. But I did want to share that the Slip dad, our dad, came in hot with the helping because he sent me this special pillow that I can use when I sleep so that I can stay propped up, which is something that helps me a lot when I'm not feeling well. So this came in last night, but I was too tired to take it out of the box. So I'm going to take it out now and set it up high. It comes with, it looks like 2. So I might put one on my bed and then maybe one on the couch here for when I'm laying down, and then combine them maybe for when I go to sleep tonight. But shout out Dad, thank you for coming in hot with the things that we need when we're not feeling good. So I'm gonna go and make some breakfast. I'll probably have congee, which is like Chinese porridge, and then I'll podcast with my sister soon. Alrighty, so I am actually back from going to Alamitos Bay Yarn Company, and I went to the San Pedro Fish Market. I did podcast with my sister, but I forgot to get any footage of us doing that. So I think the podcast will come out before this video. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But I did get something from Alamitos Bay Yarn Company. They were super nice, super sweet. And so I got this skein of yarn. It is called Bird Street Yarns. The colorway is called Poppy. And one of the shop owners, they were telling me that Mr. Bird Street, the dyer, is originally from England, and their store, Alamitos Bay, is the only U.S. Shop that stocks Bird Street yarn. So I thought this was super cool. I love the blue that's coming through there, and I think I'll make some socks out of these. And I have started to kind of look at figure weight yarns for ones that I think might be interesting to hold double, to be able to make my DK socks. So I think this one will actually look really nice if the yarn is held double. And while I was there, while they were helping with another person, they were talking about the flyer that was on their kind of counter area, and she was like, "Oh, is this for the SoCal Handweavers Guild?" They're like, "Yeah, it's in Torrance." And I'm like, "Hey, I live in Torrance." They're like, "You should totally go to this." And so I picked up one of the flyers for the Southern California Handweavers Guild, which is a weaving and fiber festival, which will take place in early May. And they say it's a diverse range of vendors offering tools, supplies,
and books for weaving, spinning, knitting, and other fiber arts, as well as finished handcrafted items. There's weaving exhibits and boutiques, a silent auction, demonstrations, and a fashion show. They also do workshops, which I think is really cool. So I think that I will definitely want to go to this, and I'm going to see if I can convince my sister to go to this with me as well, because this might be something fun that we can do. And it's May, and it's in Torrance, which is where I live, so it's not too far away. So I do think it's very much so doable. So I'm very excited about that. I am waiting for Gabrielle to get back from swim lessons because I'm feeling much more so on the mend. I know my voice is still a little funny. But we were supposed to cast on some socks because we were gonna do like a sock race this weekend, but I delayed that by not feeling super hot. And so I want to make sure we can get those cast on. So I'm gonna wait for her until she gets home so we can cast on those socks. So I'll just work on some of my other socks for now. Alrighty, so it is 10:38 p.m. and I have had quite an eventful day. May I say, the Dayquil worked out very well for me. I had time to chat with Gabz, which was great, and then had dinner and FaceTimed one of my friends, and then did a lot of progress. So Gabz and I decided to cast on some socks together, which was originally our plan for when we were going to the yarn crawl. We were going to buy yarn our first day and cast on those socks together for the weekend, and obviously that didn't happen because we didn't go, but we oftentimes have yarn that either we split the skein of or we both have the same colorway, so that's what we decided to do. We cast on some socks, and the colorway is called, sorry, the lighting's not so great. It's Dreams from Rebel Woolworks, and I don't believe Rebel Woolworks is dying anymore, but this was a yarn that we both had, so we decided to cast on socks and of course race, because if you've been watching us for a while or following us on Instagram, we always race. And you know, we each have our own advantages or disadvantages. I'm not feeling too good. She's got 2 kids. It is very busy, so here we are. But of course, I was inspired to see just how fast I could finish it. So we cast these on this afternoon and they're done. So I sent my sister a picture, but I'm sure she's asleep by now. But we did hold the yarn. It's a fingering weight yarn. We held it double to make DK socks. We agreed on a length for the socks. So we did 10 rows of ribbing, 25 rows for the leg. She ended up, I believe, doing a Fishler's Kiss heel. I did a heel flap and gusset, and then the rest of the foot, you know, we sized to what was correct for us. So I have had quite the eventful day and definitely can use the rest. So I'm gonna head off to bed, and tomorrow I have a lot of chores that I do need to catch up on. So that will also be a very full day, but hopefully more laying down and resting and maybe being in less of a knitting frenzy. But for now, I'm gonna head to bed. Good morning. Today is Sunday, February 26th, and I am feeling a little bit better, but definitely still on the mend. I have actually quite a few chores to do today. I have the very unhappy task of unpacking the bag that I had packed for the roasted yarn crawl. I have a ton of laundry to do. I have a whole little basket of hand knit socks that need to get washed. I need to cook for the week, and I need to lay down and rest and try not to do too much amongst all of this. Also at 9 a.m. I do want to do some shopping online with my sister because Wandering Flock was doing a trunk show at Ritual Dyes, and I believe that they are going going online today at 9 a.m. So I definitely need to get my act together because it is already 8:04 to go check that out.
and maybe just hang out the rest of the day. I definitely want to work on my granny stripe blanket today. I finished those socks. I have another pair of striping socks I want to work on that are pretty close. I could probably finish them today if I really just sat down and focused on those. So maybe I'll do those and then cast on something else since I have the day ahead of me. So I better get going on some of these chores. Okay, I would just like to register an opinion, which is unpacking as one of like life's least fun activities, but unpacking after a trip you didn't even get to go on, the like pit of terrible tasks to do. Also, I ran into my suitcase, like the little wheel of it, because it was on my floor for like the 1900th time. So it was obviously time for that to be done. So I'm unpacked and I actually have some things. So this is a whole packet of things I was going to give to my sister when we met up. So I'm going to package this up to mail to her. And I also had my mom's birthday gift. So I am just going to repackage this differently so that it can go into the mail nicely. And I will put those in the mail for both of them. I realize I have forgotten to, I just left my socks soaking in the wool wash, which I think is totally fine. But I forgot about those. Usually I only leave them for like 15-20 minutes, but here we are, just being a little bit chaotic today. So I am gonna go wring those out and then lay them out to dry. Alrighty, so I have had, a successful knitting afternoon. I finished my stripy socks here. Gabz and I think they look like Piglet and Eeyore, so these are my Piglet and Eeyore socks. This is from Lydia. I believe it's Lydia Fiber Company, Lydia Yarn Company. Let me get the tag. Lydia Yarn, and there isn't a color name for them, so I think Piglet and Eeyore is quite fitting. So these babies are all complete, and I'm gonna put them aside so we can chat about them on the podcast. And that means I only actually have my granny stripe blanket and my something cozy sweater to be working on, but I'm not really in the mood for working on either of those right now, which I think is totally fine. So I am actually gonna take a little break and do some meal prep for the week, as well as start making some dinner, and then I think I'll cast on some socks. Something that I've been toying with is doing like the Knit Picks Felici self-striping socks, but holding it double with like a very solid yarn. I think I have some white of the Knit Pick Stroll left over, so I think I might experiment with that. So I'm gonna get going on cooking for the week, and then see what colorways I have to try out these socks. All right, so I am all meal prepped. I am still not feeling 100% though, so I think I am going to take a sick day tomorrow to just rest up. It is spring break for our students, so I think it'll be okay. I could definitely take some meetings from home, but I think it's going to be best that I rest up because we have a very busy season ahead of us. And I have a baked potato in the oven. Well, that's not related to work at all, but I also have a baked potato in the oven. So that is what I'm going to be having for dinner. But I am all meal prepped. All the chores are done. So now I am going to cast on these DK striped socks I'm trying out. So I did have quite a bit. I think I used maybe just the tiniest amount of this for some contrast on a pair of socks I made. So this is Stroll Finger Weight from Knit Picks. It's just white. And then I'm going to use the Felici colorway called Rustic Cabin to see how these DK self-striping socks turn out. So I'm pretty excited about this. I haven't thought through, it is 50 grams each. I really don't think I'm gonna need to do contrast heels, toes, and cuffs. Maybe I'll do a contrast toe. We'll see. I know sometimes that like self-striping doesn't always look good with the heel flap and gusset, but I'm just gonna roll with it and we'll see how it goes. And because, this is not too expensive, I'm not using any of my indie dyed self-striping, I'm not that worried about it. So it's called an experiment, and I'm just gonna knit on these for the rest of the evening. I'm using this fun s'mores bag that my sister made for me for the summer for my birthday, and kind of just cozy in for the night. Thank you so much. If I don't check back in, for watching this substitute vlog for us not going to the yarn crawl. I hope if you haven't already, please check out my sister's vlog, our latest podcast, and hopefully we'll have a yarn crawl vlog for you in the future, or maybe some kind of yarny event vlog in the future. But thank you so much for sticking with us, and have a wonderful evening, day, morning, whenever you're watching this.